So I'm weird about this. I like building things different. Every single vegetable that we have here is gonna cook at a different time, at a different temperature. Because I don't want this soggy, I don't want this bleeding all over the place. So I make everything. My philosophy is that everything has a different flavor and it has to shine even if it is this big huge pot. This is gonna be a big huge pot of pasta, but the zucchini is gonna taste like zucchini. The Brussels sprouts are gonna taste like Brussels sprouts. Everything is gonna have this place and it's gonna work the way it should work. So, again, I'm the chef, Catherine is the nutritionist. I'm gonna use X amount of olive oil. Hot pan. That's probably about a tablespoon, maybe a little bit more. Pan was hot. You see a little smoke, hopefully you see a little smoke coming up. The zucchini. Now, hopefully you guys can hear the sizzle. So, just leave it there. Just leave it there for 10, 20, 30 seconds. You want, zucchini is pretty much a fruit, so it's gonna have enough sugar that it's gonna caramelize. So leave it there until it has developed the sugars. Until it has caramelized the sugar there on the outside exposed. I have it on low, now that I add zucchini, so it doesn't start sweating because I don't want any sweating at all. I want color. Turn it on to high. Not touching it. Really, not touching it, not doing anything to it. So, what we can talk about right now at this point. I usually talk to my kid that is in his fourth snack of in the past half an hour. So everything has some color. That's the part I don't get. Sometimes people, you see all this, if you got a wok, yes, that is different. How the fire, how the heat source impacts the cooking. The cooking pan, whatever type of pan it is, the wok or saute pan, is different. This is my stove top at home, which is electric. All the heat is coming from the bottom. So I want to keep it. I want to keep the pan as much as I can contacting the heat-producing element. Okay, there we go. You see how we're seeing some color? It's not just sweating. Don't be afraid of having it low and then moving it to high. The difference between something delicious and something burnt is probably yay thin. If you don't get the right color, you don't get the right amount of sugar developed into it. Again, if I had a wok, I will be moving it, but I don't need to here because every time I lift the pan from the element, it's gonna stop heating. So it's not gonna be even heat. Couple more stirs. Make sure that everything is contacting the bottom of the pan where all the heat is. Now at this point, when most of the stuff is pretty much have received some caramelization, is when I season. Seasoning when it's cool, I don't think is seasoning when it's cool, I don't think it's all that appropriate with vegetables, just because it's gonna make them salt just draws water and it's gonna draw the water from the vegetable. Meat, animal protein, yes, because it's gonna salt on the surface. It's gonna create like a reverse osmosis. It's gonna draw the water out of the muscle and it's gonna bring it back into the muscle. For the vegetables, if it is not hot, it's not doing anything for you. So now I got the right color. Turn it back down. Everything's open. 2 salt. 1, 2 pepper. Oops. Done. Okay, now it's done. Again, everything has seasoned different, everything is flavored different, everything is cooked different. So that each one developed some things. And chiffonade to be cooked really fast. That's pretty much as soon as I put it in the pan. Pepper, salt. So you just want a quick wilt. You're gonna start seeing some color. Temperature is not a high, it's just like kind of medium, just so it kind of sort of wilts a little bit, but it's still, you get some of the sugar. There is a lot of sugar in Brussels sprouts, in any type of, in any of the cabbage family. There's good amount of sugar that you cook it properly, that you're gonna have some underlying sweetness to it. Okay, that's done. This is way to taste the pasta, is pretty much taste it. It should be have enough bite, but not be completely cooked. Okay, so pasta is done. Now get some of that pasta water because it has a lot of starch, a lot of the pasta flavor. I usually get more than what I need. Pour a little bit more, just in case. Okay, turn it off, and we're just gonna drain the pasta. Now we're gonna start building the sauce and the actual dish. There's a little couple of burnt spots in there, but that has a little bit of flavor. Really low temperature. Sausage, again, not that much. Just a little bit left over. So these are cooked the right way. That's why I'm trying to take as much as I can. And yes, I do have all this when I cook at home. Pretty bad habits from cooking for too long. And the sausage is really just for a little bit of flavor. Doesn't do, it's not enough that after it renders fat, it's probably like an ounce and a half. And you could technically do this 100% vegan as well, except with the cheese. Pasta, I got this thing about cheese on pasta. Again, we're ready to use, we render it, we don't need it to keep cooking because it can burn and we're gonna use it for the rest of the sauce. On high, we're gonna start smoking. Asparagus. Yeah, this is almost that's my dog saying hi to her friends. Maybe a touch more ago. Again, don't lift it up. For asparagus, I do like a bite, so I just like them just warm enough and with just enough color. I don't like them too cooked. See it? They start getting some color. Lower temperature. And they're done. Okay, now the pan's a little too hot. Let it cool down a little bit. Lift it up. Turn it down, but electric cooktops keep the heat for a good amount of time. So just lift it up a little bit. And I've been using the same pan for everything. Just little bits. You're gonna see what we're gonna do with them in a little. So, enough. Then there goes the flavoring for my sauce. Onions. Again. Don't lift it up. Just enough to start getting some colors. Touch more volleyball. Some peppers. What you should be getting right now is like a almost sweet smell from the yeah, I'm getting directions from my assistant. She's like really good at taking pictures and videos. Everything was high really fast. This is slow and low. Let them break down the sugars without getting let the slow heat break down the sugars so everything develops. And much contact as guys, so we're pretty much at the end. Have wilted, have enough color. This is the point where I like to add the garlic. If you like garlic, there's something like too much garlic. And if you add it too hot, it burns. And you just want the garlic to have just the right amount of color, just right at that point before it's burned. Again, no lifting anything. And you can start smelling the garlic because everything else now has caramelized, have released all aromatics. Now is when you start getting the garlic. Yeah, don't lift anything. So we just added the garlic. The garlic's getting to the right consistency, meaning color and aroma and all that kind of stuff that you expect from garlic. So this pretty much looks like a sofrito. That's what we will call it, that we'll call a sofrito. This is the base of the sauce. Okay, you see how everything's getting that beautiful golden color? Some of the pieces of garlic are getting a little bit more color than the other ones, but that's okay, because slowly everything is developing. Right amount of fat, right amount of heat, not too hot. Slowly. And again, same pan. We only use one pan for pasta and one pan for the sauce. Okay. At this point, when most of the garlic is starting to get some color and start getting that brownish, and maybe a couple of specks of dark brown or black, which is acceptable and probably it gives you a different depth of flavor. I will add a little bit more fat. At this point is olive oil. The almond flour, because you want the almond flour to get some of that fat in. You want to rehydrate the almond flour with the fat, get all of that. It's a flour, though it's not a flour, it's, again, almond flour has its own fat, but it's just gonna bring a different depth if you get it a little bit of color and a little bit of heat to it for using the sauce. Now you add all your veggies that you already sauteed. With all the liquids that they had. You have really low heat. Make sure that everything is to the right temperature. Now you can do this two ways. You can add the pasta right now and then slowly add the liquid and build the sauce, but what I'm gonna do is add my hummus. out saying hi to one of her friends. I don't know what happened. You see? Now we add the pasta sauce just enough to bring it together. To start getting that creamy consistency. Now we add our cooked pasta. Yeah, we just strained the pasta. We didn't add any water, we didn't cool it down because we are gonna use it right now. A little bit more of the pasta cooking water. That's why I save a lot of it. Make sure you stir it, you mix it. So this technically could have been 100% well, again, not vegan because I'm gonna put cheese at the end, but it could have been vegetarian if I didn't use the sausage. But I like the flavor that it provides and that little bit of different fat feel in your mouth. Okay, so you see how it's getting nice and creamy? And you just have right the enough amount of sauce just coating the pasta. That's why I use this shape of pasta, because it's not a really saucy thing. It's just enough that the little ridges on the pasta are catching all the liquid and all the flavor to it. Taste it. Adjust with salt and pepper. Your taste. Also, I could technically float a little bit of cold water in it and emulsify the pasta more, but I don't need to because I already used the hummus, and that has enough of the aquafaba in it, or the liquid of the chickpeas, that's gonna, it's a natural emulsifier. So you see how with the pasta water and everything, you just got this nice pasta with the right amount of sauce, not too much, just everything coated in the pasta. Done.